Okay, this video is going to be a review of solving rational equations. So here in example one, we do have this rational equation x minus x plus 3 divided by x minus 4 is equal to 3 divided by x minus 4. So we have this rational equation with these fractions. And basically to solve this, we're going to clear out the fractions using the least common multiple or a common denominator. And we're going to use this x minus 4. That is the only denominator that is present. So if we want to clear out the fractions, we'll multiply everything by that common denominator of x minus 4. So I set it up as x minus 4, and then I put the original in one big set of parentheses, and then I begin to solve it from there. So you can see, first of all, this x does not really have a denominator. It's a denominator of 1. So we're going to have to multiply x, the numerator, times the x minus 4. So x times the least common multiple of x minus 4. Then we have this minus sign, so I can bring down the minus. Now, you can see that the x minus 4 denominator here and the least common multiple of x minus 5, well, there's no, or x minus 4, sorry, there's no reason to multiply that by x minus 4 and then divide by x minus 4. They basically just cancel each other out for this one, okay? So basically we can just bring down the denominator of x plus 3, but be careful, this minus sign means you're subtracting all of that. So I'm going to use my parentheses and bring down the x plus 3. Again, the x minus 4 got canceled out. Now, equals, now we have this 3 over x minus 4. Well, again, the x minus 4, the denominator, and the least common multiple will cancel each other out in this one. So we just bring down the equals 3. Now we have this equation that we can go ahead and solve. There's no denominator. We just need to distribute where we need to, combine like terms, and solve it. So when I distribute here, we end up with x squared minus 4x minus x and then minus 3 equals 3. Well, I'm going to combine my like terms first, and I have the equation x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 3. So this is going to be a quadratic equation. I need to set it equal to 0 and then factor and solve. So to set it equal to 0, I'm going to subtract 3 from the right side to cancel it, or to make it equal 0. So I'll need to subtract 3 here as well. So we end up with x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Now I'm going to use the x puzzle to factor. So we're looking for the factors of 1 times negative 6 that equal negative 5, or the factors of negative 6 that equal negative 5. And that's going to be 6 times 1. It'll actually be a negative 6 and a positive 1. So negative 6 times 1 equals negative 6, and negative 6 plus 1 equals negative 5. So in my factored form, I have x minus 6 and I have x plus 1. Again, that came from here, minus 6 and the plus 1. All right, well, it's pretty simple to solve these. At this point, it's really just the opposite. If it's x minus 6, now you can set that equal to 0, but of course, x will equal 6. That would be a solution. And then you set x plus 1 equal to 0, and x equals negative 1. And that would be your solution as long as neither one of them created a 0 in the denominator, in the original denominator, which they do not because it was x minus 4. So there's your solution, 6 and negative 1. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, this one's a little bit more involved. We have 7 divided by x plus 2 plus x over x minus 6 equals negative 2x over x squared minus 4x minus 12. You see these factors of x, denominator factors of x plus 2 and x minus 6. I'm going to go ahead and factor this one to see what our common denominator is going to be. So when we factor that trinomial, you see x minus 6, x plus 2 are the factors. So the denominators are x plus 2 and x minus 6. So when we look for the least common multiple in order to clear out the fractions, or what we're going to multiply all of the terms by, it's going to be the x plus 2 and an x minus 6. So this will be our least common multiple. So I'm going to pause and set that up. Okay, so here it is set up. I have this entire equation that we're going to multiply times the least common multiple of x plus 2, x minus 6. So in this first term here, the 7, the numerator, what are we going to have to multiply it by? Well, we can cancel out the x plus 2 and the x plus 2. So all we're multiplying 7 times in this one is the x minus 6, which was the denominator of this term. So I'll write that out. We have 7 times x minus 6. Then I'll bring down my plus sign. Then we're going to multiply the x, which is the numerator here, times, well, we don't have to multiply it by x minus 6. You can see the x minus 6 here and the x minus 6. They will cancel each other out, so I'll show that. So that cancels and that cancels. That just means we're going to have to multiply the x only times x plus 2. So I'm going to show that here, times x plus 2 equals, and then in this last one, we have a numerator of negative 2x. Well, the denominator has the same factors of the least common multiple. So at this point, when we consider the least common multiple, everything is going to cancel. So we really can just bring down the negative 2x. So equals negative 2x. Now again, I need to distribute everything. So it's going to be 7x minus 42. And then we have plus x squared and plus 2x equals negative 2x. So at this point, we will combine our like terms here and go ahead and write it in the correct descending order. So we'll have x squared plus 9x minus 42 equals negative 2x. And then, of course, this is going to be a quadratic that we need to set equal to 0. So I'm going to cancel out negative 2x by adding 2x. Of course, I have to add that to both sides. So I end up with this quadratic of x squared plus 11x minus 42 equals 0. So I need to find the factors of a times c that equal b. Well, that's the factors of negative 42 that equal 11. And that's actually going to be 14 times 3. 14 times 3 is 42. And since I need a positive 11, it's going to be positive 14 minus 3. So in factored form, it's going to be x plus 14 times x minus 3 equals 0. Again, you set each factor equal to 0, so that means x is going to be negative 14. And we set x minus 3 equal to 0, and that means x is going to equal 3. Okay, and those are your solutions as long as neither one of them create a denominator of 0 in the original. All right, so that's a review of solving rational equations.